Can anyone confirm in the chat if the screen is visible perfectly and am I audible?
Yes, it's visible. Yeah, you are audible and visible as well.
Okay. A very good evening to one and all. I'm Khusboo Singh, a consultant dietitian and diabetes educator. I welcome all of you on behalf of IIPN Kolkata chapter to this interesting webinar on the topic recycling of waste, benefits of pomegranate peels. So fruits and vegetables are highly used food products in the amongst the horticulture crops, and they are consumed in various forms, and because of which there is a high demand, and to meet this demand there has been exponential increase in yield of these products. But in spite of that, we have a lot of waste that is generated from the peels of these fruits and vegetables, and these are considered to be did the screen recording stop? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, Khusboo.
The screen is not visible.
No, screen is not visible, Khusboo.
Okay, I'll just.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we were discussing about the fruits and vegetables. So the peel of these fruits and vegetables are generated as waste, and it is found to be like 20 to 25 to 30% of the total yield. So it is very important for us to find out a sustainable utilization of these peels, so that we move towards a more sustainable environment, and we do not go into the consequences. So therefore, not taking any further time, I would like to introduce our speaker for the day, Jyoti Pachisia. She is a lecturer, clinical dietitian, diabetes educator, and researcher. She is an MSc in food and nutrition, and is a diabetes educator. Currently, she is a guest lecturer at IMS Mukundopur at the Department of Dietetics and Nutrition, and in Dolphin School of Hotel Management, Kalyani. She is a practicing freelance dietitian in a private chamber, and she is working as a nutrition expert with various online platforms. She has worked as a consulting dietitian with Genesis Hospital for 2 years, and she has multiple publications to her name. She is a speaker at various webinars. She has participated as delegate in different conferences. She is a dietitian awardee by Indian Women Global Awards 2023, and she is a life member at IIPN India, Society of Nutrition and Dietetics, and NSI Hyderabad. Over to you, Jyoti.
A very warm welcome to each one of you present here. Thank you, Khusboo, for introducing me, and sincere thanks to IPN India for giving me the opportunity to speak about the recycling the food waste, which is a concerning and currently the scenario, and has been always sparked our brains that how can we better utilize it to reduce the waste, not just in the present, but also in the future. So without wasting time, let's start the session. Khusboo, can you please share the screen, please?
I've actually shared the screen.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Khusboo. Yeah, it is absolutely visible. So without wasting time, let's start about the nutritional importance of the pomegranate peels. Next slide, please. Khusboo, next slide, please.
I have changed my screen already. The slide has changed. Is it visible?
Yeah, thank you so much. Now, we are very much aware that fruits and vegetables are the storehouse of the essential nutrients like vitamins and the minerals. They are the most utilized commodities among all horticulture crops consumed as the raw as well as in the processed forms. Now, with the growing population and changing diet habits, the production and the processing of these horticulture crops have increased very significantly to fulfill the increasing demands. But unfortunately, horticulture production and the distribution activities suffers from a high incidence of the surplus food and as well as the food waste. So significant losses of these waste and absolute losses and waste in the industries is becoming a concern now. Next slide, please.
Is it visible?
Khusboo, next. Yes, yes, it is visible. Now, as per the Ministry of the Food Processing Industries data, which has been seen in the year 2022, India calculates the total fruits and vegetable losses of around 12 and 21 million tons respectively. So if we say then amounts to approximately USD 4.4 billions in value, with the total value of the waste and losses of foods reaching to around maybe more than 36 billion tons. Means abhi tak we came across ki plastic was a concern, plastic pollution was a concern, but now we can see food waste is also a concern, and so the food as well. Next slide, please, Khusboo.
I have changed it. It's just taking some time.
Yeah, it's okay. Now, but we need to understand first that what exactly is food waste is. Food waste, or as we say it as the food scraps, it's composed of mainly of seeds, skin, rind, as well as pomace, which contains significant amount of potential valuable bioactive compounds such as carotenoids, polyphenols, dietary fibers, vitamins, essential oils, and many more. So these phytochemicals and polyphenols that are present, it can be utilized in different sectors of the industries, whether it's in terms of the food, if we say, pharmaceutical, if we say, as well as in terms of the textiles. The use of the waste for the various purpose is very essential and a very important step towards the sustainable development. The peel may not look so appetizing. It's an obvious thing. If we think, imagine you are taking a medicine and आप expect करते हो कि वो medicine का taste will be very great. Of course not. It will be benefiting for our body. Similarly, कोई भी अच्छी चीज देखने, कोई भी अच्छा खाना जो हमारे health के लिए अच्छा, वो देखने में अच्छा भी नहीं हो सकता. So that accordingly we need to understand also. So it can be extremely beneficial in boosting metabolism, controlling blood pressure, and improves the eyesight. Go to the next slide, please. One of them that today I'm going to discuss about the peels, is about the pomegranate peels. So pomegranate peels are conferred with the wealth of the nutrients and antioxidants, and the incredible health benefits are attributed to their potent anti-inflammatory, antifungal, and antibacterial traits. And using these peels, we effectively combat acne, detoxify the system, fades away the wrinkles, remedies sore throat and cough, and lowers the risk of the chronic disease. How it's going to helpful? That we'll be discussing very soon in the coming section. Now, how you can use it? You can use it as a whole, the peels, you can dry it, and you can steep it in the hot water, enjoy it and relish it as a tea. Or you can dry it and pound it into a fine powder, steep it in hot water and relished as tea, or mixed with water to make a fine paste and topically applied on the skin. So it can act as a skin pack as well. So it's an abundance of the antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, anti-inflammatory qualities. And pomegranate can be used for various purposes as well. Next slide, please. This is an infographic. Basically, it shows that how pomegranate peels have their own benefits, like it is helpful in the diabetes, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, anti-hypertensive capacity, cardiovascular diseases, increases HDL cholesterol, reduces LDL cholesterol, improves liver and the kidney functions. Next slide, please. We'll be discussing each of them in details also now. Okay, now pomegranate peels are used in various food varieties owing to their great nutritional and chemical composition. The peels contains optimum levels of the carbohydrates, as you can see in the slide, it's mentioned, followed by the moisture, protein, ash, as well as fiber, as to some extent around the fat as well. Next slide, please. This slide shows the bioactive or the polyphenol compounds and the total phenol of the pomegranate peel extract. Various studies have demonstrated that the peels contain more bioactive components than any other part of the pomegranate. One of them, which is highlighted apart from the mentioned, is the punicic acid or the penicillin as well. And this is actually named after the principal source, that is the pomegranate, and has been proven to protect collagen fibers, accelerates the wound healing and scars. And the next mentioned are all about the in the table is about the flavonoids and the polyphenols, which can restrain food oxidation and increases the time frame of the realistic usability and the nature of the food. In short, this can also be helpful in improving the shelf life of the food product. How will be done? Will be coming across very soon. And that's because of these so many benefiting, that's why it is often entitled as the super peels. We all have heard about the superfoods, and so this is at times referred as the super peels. Now, let's go to the section where we'll be knowing that how pomegranate peels helps in the management of the chronic disease. Next slide, please. Okay, the first one that we're going to discuss is about the diabetes mellitus. I don't think I have to really introduce this about this chronic disease, because I'm sure everyone is familiar about the diabetes mellitus. But still, this is something that is a metabolic sickness on the planet, which is characterized by various symptoms, be it hyperglycemia or hypoglycemia, and ends up in the disorders of the carbohydrate, fat, and protein metabolism. Now, how does this pomegranate peels actually help? Now, it actually inhibits the alpha glucosidase and increases the aldohexose absorption. The bioactive components or the active ingredients which are present in this pomegranate peels, it shows to cut back the cardiopathy. Basically, it is a long-term complications which affects the heart together with the diabetes. And how is it helpful? By inhibiting the beta lipoprotein oxidation. Now, recently, I'm sharing one data with you all. In the month of the February 2023, a research was conducted where a product was made, basically bread slice, you can say, where pomegranate peel around 500 mg was incorporated in that pound, I think 2 pound bread it was, and it was given 2 slices every day. Like a comparative study was done कि एक group को normal bread slice and the another one was given the pomegranate peel wala bread to understand the comparison and to know the more further studies. So it was found that a decrease in the waist circumference, waist hip ratio, waist height ratio, body fat percentage, blood pressure, serum insulin, triglyceride, and total cholesterol levels, as well as the other glycemic levels, was much decreased and it came under control. So from this, we can actually understand that it is used as a nutritionary health product for the interference and the treatment of a kind of pair of diabetes and its connected complications. And if we can incorporate in various recipes, and accordingly we can help people to understand that how this can be beneficial equally. Next slide, please. Okay, the next one, which is about the neurological disorders. Now, this neurological disorders, they are considered as the most deteriorating, characterized by a decrease in memory, conduct, mental component capacities inside the matured age groups. It includes ADHD. I'm sure everyone is aware about what is ADHD. That is attention. It is basically attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, Parkinson's disease, all include in it. The most frequent and vital pathological feature among these disorders is found as the oxidative stress, inflammation, and accumulation of the misfolded proteins. Brain damage is a significant public health burden in this. So how does pomegranate peels help? It is helping in the form of an extract in a product, and it is a source of bioactive compounds that can reduce the senile plaques. Basically, it is improving the expression of the neurotrophin BDNF by reducing the inflammation because it has anti-inflammatory properties and the phenolic components that is present. So in a way, it is reducing the activity of the enzyme acetylcholinesterase, reduces the lipid peroxidation, and also in a way, it reduces the expression of inflammatory cytokine TNF-alpha. It is very helpful in creating a functional reserve that protects the brain from neurodegenerative processes that follows the Alzheimer's disease. Next slide, please. Someone can please mute yourself, whoever is that. Okay, next is the oral cavities. Just like the fruit, we all know that to protect the oral related problems, pomegranate, Khusboo, the previous slide. Oral cavities.
Yes, I have already experienced oral cavities. It will take a little bit of time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Just like the fruit, pomegranate peels is loaded with the antioxidants and antibacterial compounds, which helps in improving the oral hygiene. It contains bioactive compounds like tannins, triterpenes, essential oils, carotenoids, saponin, vitamins C and A, alkaloids, glycosides, that records worthy medicinal goods throughout the history of the humanity. It serves to inhibit Candida albicans, which is then followed by antibacterial Staphylococcus aureus, Staphylococcus mutant, Escherichia coli, and antifungal Aspergillus niger, which is a common microorganism involved in the dental and oral problems like in chronic gingivitis. Very interestingly, it was found in Ayurveda study that it is a herbal drug which has Kasya Ras, Anushna Virya, and Madhura Vipak, which are exactly opposite to doshic configuration of Gilayu. Gilayu is the term which is said for tonsillitis. Basically, it is used in the treatment of the tonsillitis, apart from the gingivitis and the scurvy problem. Next slide, please. Now, India is a place where we can see the prevalence of the bone problems are more after diabetes, if we all can see, right? So among these chronic diseases, bone problems is the second most one, the most silent killer, actually, you can say, which acts like a slow poison. So this actually, it's associated with bone remodeling impairment, and if it is not detected early, it can lead to bone loss. And we have seen so many drugs, medicines. We have come across these specific nutrients also, which are very good, very specific for the bone health as well. Well, pomegranate peels also can help in the management of the bone problems as well. How is it helping? Let's see. It can directly modulate the bone cell differentiation, and it can lead to improved resorption formation ratio. What happens when there is a more of the bone problems? We see resorption is happening more. And as a result of, in fact, what happens? Inflammation is going on more. Oxidative stress is already inside the body. The free radicals are already moving inside the body. So somewhere or the other, the bone microenvironment, the bone bone modeling, everything gets impaired. So pomegranate peels helps in that. Another mechanism which is seen that it helps to enhance the growth of the bifidobacteria and lactobacilli in the intestine. So in this way, it increases the production of the short chain fatty acids, which has a somewhat contribution directly in the enhancement of the calcium absorption via a cation exchange mechanism. Okay, so in a way, you all can say that when bone problems are healing, it is also helping in healing the gastric problems as well. So in a way, it is helping in both the ways also. Next slide, please. Cancer, another very chronic disease. The presence of this, the presence of punicalcigene, which is actually a polyphenol, it is attributed to possess anti-cancer traits. It provides numerous beneficial properties and it intervenes in the cell cycle, proliferation, survival signals, catabolic processes such as apoptosis and autophagy. Along with the punicalcigene, ellagic acid, which we saw, if you all remember in the slide, it was mentioned about the polyphenol composition. Ellagic acid is another major constituent present in pomegranate peel, which is shown to possess strong anti-proliferative activities. Pomegranate peels, in short, exhibits strong antioxidant activities. It's a rich source of hydrolyzable tannins, anthocyanins, which helps to combat cancer. And recently it has been found in the managing the liver cancer. Earlier, it was just seen in the, the gastric cancer and all. But now, recently, it is found that it helps in the managing the liver cancer as well. Next slide, please. Okay, so we had a bit conversation about the chronic diseases. Now let's know that how it is helping in the industry, how it is giving it. So this is a infographic. Basically, you can see that how it is helping in the industrial purposes, or how much it has the industrial applications. So let's know more in details. Next slide, please. Number one, animal feed. Now, this is something very commonly we all see. I'm sure if you all have done this also at your home level, which is being seen. This, it can be used as an animal feed, and it has a double benefit. The best part is it has a double benefit. Number one, it helps to lower the greenhouse gas emission, means you're giving to the something good to the ecosystem. Second, it promotes the utilization of the food industry byproducts in the livestock nutrition. Pomegranate peel has relatively high nutritive value. It is a valuable source of plant secondary compounds such as polyphenols, especially tannins and saponins, and it is therefore a potential functional feed ingredient in ruminant diets. Ruminant, as you all can see, I'm talking about the cows, buffalo basically, and in a way, it is improving their detox and the health status as well as the protein utilization. Okay, next slide, please. Another very important aspect where pomegranate peel is used is in the packaging, especially in the active release packaging. It is helpful. Like pomegranate peels extracts exhibits the inhibitory. It was done in a study in the year 2023 where it was seen that the extracts was used to coat the various some edible food items, and it has shown the inhibitory and bactericidal effects against the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria, which is the biggest advantage for the edible coatings. It has higher amount of the bioactive compounds as well as higher antioxidant and antibacterial activity such as gallic acid, ellagic acid, caffeic acid, which are responsible to extend the shelf life of processed products. Next slide, please. Another very important and yet the most interesting concept is seen that the phenolics that are present in the pomegranate peel, it improves the stored meat products, the quality, namely the instrumental color retaining. That helps in the limiting the microflora growth. It helps in the retardation of the lipid and the protein oxidation. The phenolics that are present in the pomegranate peel acts as the functional ingredient to replace the part of the fat in a raw meat product, which helps in determining changes in the instrumental color and the texture. And it is very helpful in the sensory acceptation and neophobia. Neophobia is basically the phobia which is seen, it is like whether it is affecting the sensory properties or not. Now, with this, I would like to enhance one study which was done on the sausages and and it was found that not just it was acceptable in terms of the sensory evaluation, but at the same time, the shelf life was increased to better and the quality of the meat has improved a lot. So this can be one, natural yet innovative concept to use pomegranate peel in the meat industries. Whether you want to cook it, whether you want to use it as a, in the packaging material or in whichever way. If you want to add color also, this is helpful. And interestingly, that was also found in the textile industry as well. At times, for natural color, pomegranate peel is also used. It is actually, if the extract is taken out and it is dyed in the fabric, and interestingly, it is shown very good response. But as I said, researchers are still going on to understand what can further be done to improve in other meat products as well. Next slide, please. Yes, very interesting one. The one who loves bakery, the one who loves the baked products. अगर किसी को घर पे home bakery का business भी करना हो, तो this can be one helpful to them as well. Basically, as we mentioned, that pomegranate peel is a source of several bioactive components in bakery products and helps to increase the shelf life, improves the product's quality, properties, and nutritional value. I have mentioned about the bread one. Not only it was highly accepted in among the diabetics, but also it the shelf life of bread was increased also, and it stayed longer. The quality was better than the before, right? Apart from that, it is also being combined with some other ingredients like pomegranate peel with the sweet potato peels, or maybe sweet potato flour, or maybe with the banana flour, could be raw banana flour. And in that, they have been mixed and cookies have been made. Nowadays we are getting, people are knowing about the gluten free करना है, मुझे ये इसको lactose free बनाना है, or is it like मुझे मैदा कम use करना है. I want to make sure कि it should be free of maida or there should be less of maida. Then this can be one substitute as well. And for increasing the color, this pomegranate peel is a good option. They are not just low in fat, but a good source of dietary fiber, protein, variety of micronutrients and phytochemicals. And it has also shown therapeutic activity to its high content in dietary fiber in terms of hypercholesterolemia, diabetes, and cancer, which we have seen in the previous slides. So it can be added to many food products as the bakery products. Even supplementation with other ingredients in bakery and other processed products helps in the improving the nutritional and chemical qualities. Yesterday, when I was reading about this, I came across a product was developed, the chickpea, for the emergency food or the disaster relief management. We often provide some certain dry foods now. So there is one I came across about the chickpea. Now in that chickpea, pomegranate peel powder of around 500 to 600 mg was incorporated, and it was seen that chickpea not just taste good, but also can somebody mute them, sir? Excuse me.
Tina Day, can you please mute yourself? I'll just stop share and mute you.
I think it's muted now.
Yes.
Yeah. Khusboo, can you please share the slide again?
I'll share it. Is it
Yeah.
visible now?
getting visible. Yeah, thank you so much. So supplementation with other ingredients. So as I was mentioning about the chicky, so yes, that was a new product development, not just in terms of the sensory evaluation, it was a good one, but also in terms of the nutritional point of view, that the nutrient value was also increased. So in a way, we can actually think of incorporating the pomegranate peels, which we can, in the different food products, in a way, not just we are reducing the waste also, but at the same time, we are making sure that the new product is developed and we are enhancing their nutritional value in that particular product as well. That quality is also maintained. Next slide, please. So with this, I would like to conclude that pomegranate peels shows higher antioxidant properties and pose higher in applications for food products. They exhibit anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, improves the cardiovascular diseases, rather reduces the incidences. It has got properties which reduces the risk of infection. It heals the wounds and scars. So in a way, it is playing and modulating and in the interventional role in several diseases. It reusing these type of peels. I just mentioned about the pomegranate peels. If you all come across something like that, which we can incorporate in the food products, like in this way, as I mentioned, and in a way in the fresh foods industry or in any process scale also, in a way you are introducing a sustainable way to reduce the environmental impact and cost associated with the significant advantages to the product quality. We know what has happened, what are the cost of getting price and all, right? So think in that way, in a way that not just whatever they are giving us, these fruits and vegetables are giving us nutrients. So in a way, we have to give back something to the ecosystem as well. And its shelf life can be enhanced with using these, followed by the improvement in the human health. Now, question might come to you that apart from these things, where we can use, you can incorporate in recipes, you can use it in the form of fertilizer, you can, as I mentioned, you can use it for the skincare tips, but make sure it is not allergic to you. Skin and health care, hair care, shouldn't be allergic to you. For that, do the skin test, as it is always mentioned for any product, as we all know, using any makeup products or something. Do a skin test. If it's suitable, then please go for it. Next slide, please. These are my references which have been used for making the presentation. And as I mentioned, this is actually, as I say always, that this list is actually very less, because if you keep on studying, the list will increase gradually. So, and eventually you will come across more and more new concepts also. So these are the references for this till now. Next slide. Thank you everyone for listening so patiently, and really bottom from my heart, thank you so much for that. And you are all open for the questions. The last slide.
Yes, I have already changed it. So we are open to any questions. We actually have 2 questions in the chat. I'll just stop share and we can take the questions.
Yeah, sure. Please.
So the first one is that it is from Shazia. She has asked if the peel, they do not contain any pesticide or chemicals that are sprayed to increase their shelf life. So in that case, how do we consume these peels?
Peels, see, that though if we say for any food products, especially in terms of the fruits and vegetables, they do contain insecticides and pesticides. We need to know how it should be washed to make sure that we are using it. Then only we can utilize it properly. So steep it in hot water for some time and then you can utilize that thing.
Thank you. Hopefully, the question has been answered. Now, the next one is that what is the minimum amount that needs to be consumed on a daily basis to see any kind of results? Is there any regulations or any specific guidelines for that?
Till now, there's no specific for that, but if you really want to start with it, start with the half teaspoon powder with that. Start with the powder and see the result first. And then accordingly, if you think that it is improving, then gradually increase the amount. But otherwise, as such, guidelines have not come yet. It is still because, as I mentioned, the research is still going on to understand the exact amount that can be recommended as well. But if you really want to try, start with the minimal amount, that is the half teaspoon, in the form of powder again.
Okay, thank you. Jyoti, can you on your camera if that's possible?
I just give me a minute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, now you're visible. So another question we have from Dr. Ananya Kashyap ma'am. Ma'am has asked if the peel,
Yes.
if we are using the peel, then in that is we like, are we using only the red portion or it is also the inner part that is being used?
Both the red as well as the white portion.
Okay. So both have the same benefits as you have already mentioned in the study. Okay.
Yes.
So the next one is from Oishani Hajra. She has asked, can we use all things of pomegranate, like all the parts of pomegranate, can it be used or not?
Definitely, we can use all the parts of the pomegranate fruit. Like the calyx is also used. We all know pomegranate seeds, the very famous anardana ka powder. Anardana powder can be used to relieve the constipation. Yes. So, in a way, you can utilize all the parts of the fruit. But yes, as I mentioned, the researches are still going on to get a clear concept that how they can be useful and how you can use it as well. For example, take in this case also, the specific guideline for using the exact amount is still on the research way. Similarly for this also. But yes, many people still tries in their own way also. So let's hopeful that more research so that we also get a clear concept about it.
Okay, so we have one more question that it is from Ananya Upadhyay ma'am. She has asked if there is any guideline that suggests the best time to consume these.
Best time as such is not given. For that, we need to know about it because it's a very fresh topic right now. So best time and the best way to incorporate this thing is still on the research. And we are hopeful that we can come across more about this thing. But if you really, there are certain articles where it is mentioned that if you want to enjoy that thing, it is better to have it on empty stomach, where you can incorporate in the form of a powder in the hot water and you can gradually have it. Relish it like a tea.
Okay, so these were the questions. These were the questions we had. Thank you so much, Jyoti. It was like a fantastic session. We have a lot of messages in the chat as well about the session being very helpful, a very innovative topic indeed. And Also you have answered the questions fantastically. So we will look forward to sessions in the future. And now I would invite Koyal Di for giving the vote of thanks for the day.
I think, sorry, Koyali, before you interrupt, there is one question I can see given by Ankita. Like, can type 2 diabetes patients with fatty liver consume pomegranate? Of course, of course. You can, it can be recommended to type 2 diabetes. As I mentioned in my slide, that diabetes and its related complications, whether it's like fatty liver or heart diseases, for them, pomegranate peels can be used.
Thank you.
So may I start?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Jyoti. Thank you so much, Khusboo. Such an important, outstanding program it was, and definitely an out of the box topic that has been discussed today. And I would like to say one thing, like this kind of young minds, if we gather together, even under a roof, we can escalate our fraternity, I would say. I would like to thank Ms. Jyoti Pachisia for coming up with such an innovative topic. Thank you, Khusboo, for moderating so well. Thank you so much, our EC member, IPN India Kolkata chapter, our mentor, and all of the members of IPN India Kolkata chapter and all the delegates from IPN India. We are like a family. Hopefully, we will do more programs like this way. And definitely till then, thank you so much. And special thanks again to Jyoti and Khusboo. Thank you for composing this program like this way. I am so overwhelmed. Thank you again. And good night, all of you. And I will upload the recording as soon as possible. Thank you. So we are wrapping up.
Yes.
Thanks to each one of you all.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you.